Hi, I'm Jen and I'm the owner of Sewing Machine Rehab. This video is for those of you who are interested in working with me to have your machine restored or painted and restored. It's not going to give you all the information that you might want, but I am going to cover some details that I get a lot of questions on. That would be, how long does it take and how much does it cost? And there are some differences. I'm going to try to give you a ballpark towards the end of the video to help you make a decision. But I do restore vintage sewing machines. And when I restore a machine, it's fully disassembled. Every little part is cleaned. I go over each part to make sure there's nothing wrong with it. I polish parts that need polishing. Rewiring the machine, most of the time, the machines are rewired. Then I reassemble the whole machine and get it running so it's sewing beautifully before I ship it back to you. When I paint a machine, the process is a little bit different. I have to remove more parts and then I have to take it to one of my painters. Now, a painter I'm going to talk about today, her name is Marie. Her YouTube channel is Promethean Sewing Machines. And in the description box below, I'm going to give you a link to her website, a video that she has about painting machines, so that you can check that out too. You'll get a really good idea of what could happen to your machine. One of the things that you might be wondering is, can you take this machine apart yourself and send it just to Marie? And the answer is yes, you absolutely can. And Marie will talk to you about that in her video if that's what you're interested in doing. However, if the idea of taking all those parts off of your machine and then reassembling it when it's finished is a little daunting to you, that's where I come into the picture. The way that it usually works is that you reach out to me. If you're looking to have everything done, you reach out to me, send me some pictures of your machine if possible, and we can start a conversation about the process of having your machine restored or painted and restored. I let you know at that time what kind of time frame we're looking at. For just a restoration, once I start your machine, when it's physically on my workbench, it's about 7 to 10 business days. I try to send you pictures and keep you updated on the status of your machine, and of course let you know when it's ready to send back to you. If you decide to have your machine painted while it's here, then you're looking at about a month or so turnaround time. That is because I receive the machine, you send it to me, I take it apart, and then I physically take it to Marie. I don't ship your machine anywhere else after I have it. So I take it to Marie, and she does her magic, which usually takes her around 2 weeks, give or take. When she's finished, we meet again. I collect your machine in pieces and I put it back together for you. And of course, do all the test sewing and making sure that it's running perfectly. Then I contact you. I let you know the final costs. I send you an invoice. Once you pay the invoice, the machine is shipped back to you. I cannot provide you a cost or a quote for shipping. That depends on how much your machine weighs, where you live, how big the box is. But when I ship it back to you, I will let you know the shipping cost because you are responsible for the shipping cost to me and the shipping cost back to you. Now, the cost for a restoration, it really does depend on your machine and the model. Some of them have a lot more complicated wiring than others, and so I can only give you a ballpark. But to restore a machine only without paint for a model like this featherweight here that I just picked up from Marie today, you're usually looking for just restoration anywhere from $300 to $375 plus your shipping cost. If you decide to paint a machine, of course, it's going to cost more. There are 2 people involved and a lot more labor, probably 48 hours or more total man hours to paint a machine. Then you're looking at anywhere from $900 to $1,100 for a featherweight or a 301 or something like that. And that can change. There are variables, but to give you a rough idea, if it's something you're considering, that's what I want to do now. If I use my other painter and not Marie, the price is the same. I will say that Marie can provide you with some very unique machines, some very unique designs that you can tailor to exactly what you want. So that machine can really, really reflect your personality. So what would the next step be? The next step is going to be deciding, do you want me to do the restoration side of your machine, or do you just want it painted? If you just want it painted and you're comfortable with removing all of the parts, and let me just show you what I'm talking about here. So this featherweight has not been reassembled. All the parts inside the nose of the machine. Underneath the machine, everything except for the gears are removed. We have gears here and in the top of the machine that we don't touch unless we absolutely have to. Do not do that. But everything else comes off the machine before you send it to Marie. Also, when it comes to painting, you need to be comfortable with taking apart the motor and also removing things like the brush housings from the motor. You see, this motor has nothing inside of it at all. That takes a little bit of skill, and I have no doubt that some of you are so talented and very capable of doing that. But if you're not, that's why you need me. And I forgot to mention, when we paint a machine, the badge comes off. I recommend having the badge removed. I remove the badges and then put them back on when they're painted. So you need to be comfortable doing that if you just want to work with Marie and send the machine to her. And again, I believe some of you can. That's why I'm telling you that. But that's something I would do if you chose to have me in the process of restoring and having your machine painted. So we've covered time. 7 to 10 business days once I start your machine if you're only having it restored. Price range depends on the model, but a featherweight or a 301, you're looking at anywhere from $300 to $375 plus shipping. If you're having a machine fully restored and painted, you are looking at around a month, give or take. If I use my other painter, I will mention it can take longer. They do an excellent job, but they do not have the time available to work on the machine like Marie does. That is what she does all day. So around a month, and then a cost roughly $900 to $1,100 plus shipping back to you. Now, we will both provide documents for you on our website. Once you reach out to us and we agree to painting your machine or restoring your machine, we'll set up the time for you to ship it. We'll talk to you about how to pack your machine and ship it to me if I'm involved in the process. And then we'll have you go over the document, print it out, and enclose it with the machine in the box that you ship it in. That is so everybody is clear on what to expect from start to finish. But once you contact me or you contact Marie, we'll make sure that you cover all those bases. And if there are any other questions you have, we will answer them before you ship your machine. So that probably covers it. It's a lot of information, but it is some of the more basic questions I get on a day-to-day basis. So I hope this helps. Maybe this will cut down on some of those extra little emails that we're all sending each other every day. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you guys when I'm working on a sewing machine. Bye.